Hello, I'm Lelda Smits for the Capital Network. Joining me here in St Kilda, Melbourne is stock market commentator, also author, Marcus Padley. Marcus, wonderful to speak with you. Hi. Hello. Now, Marcus, we have got a low inflation and rates environment. What does this mean for equity markets?
Well, it's not good news at the end of the day because for 35 years up to 2007, we had the stock market growing at 11.7% per annum, which was possible because interest rates were around 7 to 17%. Inflation was around 5%. GDP growth was around 4 or 5%, and that allows companies to grow. If you're now talking about a decade or more of low or no interest rates, which is what bond markets are predicting, then we have no interest rates, we have no inflation on which companies can base their growth. So it means we're going into a zero growth assumption for the equity market as well, which completely turns things on its head.
Oh, well, Marcus, nobody wants to hear about bad news and certainly no investors. So how are you navigating this environment and how are you choosing stocks on their own terms, really?
Well, that's exactly what you've got to do. The whole industry that is relying on average returns, which is the core of most financial advice, buy an investment that gives you the market return, the market always goes up. That has got to change if the return's going to be zero. So you have to then go and pick the eyes out of the market, the property market and the stock market in order to get a return at all. And the way you do that, and that can be done. Last year the market went down because banks went down and resources went down, but 72% of stocks went up in the ASX 200. So it really is about stock selection in order to get a return in a zero return environment. That's where you've got to go. You've got to stock pick.
Certainly. And when it comes to stock picking, what's your approach? What kind of trends are we seeing? I mean, you certainly noted that blue chip stocks, for example, their stock prices have fallen over the past year. We've had the emergence of small cap stocks. What kind of trends are you looking for that are attractive to you or maybe attractive to other investors looking for opportunities?
Well, trends is the right word because you've got to go top down, I think, rather than necessarily bottom up. You've got to look at what areas of the economy people are spending money on, which areas are thriving. And the obvious areas to us are the internet is going to continue to grow. We've got lots of internet stocks already that will continue to disrupt all sorts of industries. The companies that are building that in the telecoms area are all going to thrive as well. There are all sorts of telecoms infrastructure stocks beyond Telstra.
Can you give us an idea of some that you like?
TPG, Telecom, Vocus Communications, Macquarie, Telecoms. There are some below that. There are people like Netcom and Senitas, all of whom are involved in building what will become Australia's next infrastructure stocks. You think roads are good, you know, wait till you get the internet infrastructure stocks, because that is absolutely essential. I don't know why it's in the hands of private enterprise. It's so vital to the economy, and that build will continue. The NBN's coming, but there's going to be something after that and after that. So that's a theme that will continue, the internet build, telecommunications.
And Marcus, you've mentioned essentials. I mean, we've often heard for investors they need to look at toilet paper or toothbrush companies. Can you think of any other essentials that investors may be neglecting or stocks that perhaps they should be paying attention to but they're not?
Yes, stocks that they are not neglecting but they've spotted is anyone who's got pricing power, which involves anyone who retailers don't because they've got competitors. But you take a toll road, you can put your prices up, no one even notices. Airports, the same thing, Sydney Airports, Auckland International Airport, Transurban, Duet. You go down to the utilities, people like AGL, we've got to keep buying our power. Not a lot of competitors, captive audience. Anyone with a bit of a monopoly, Telstra probably still retains some pricing power as well. And then there are all sorts of other themes like China is not going to go away. We've just scratched the surface with companies like Blackmores and Bellamy's putting vitamins and baby powder in cardboard boxes and sending it. I mean, that's just tiny compared to what happens if, say, financial services or healthcare stocks actually get on the ground in China and develop a brand in China. You've got 1.37 billion people to sell to instead of 23 million. They're going to make a fortune. but they haven't emerged yet, but they will emerge.
Well, Marcus, I feel we have absolutely just scratched the surface, but thank you so much for your top tips and all of those stocks, and all the best. Look forward to our next chat.
Thanks, Lola.